For most of the chronic ailments that people are suffering today in the world, the headquarters is in the stomach. Impurities gather over a period of time and you become dense both in body and head. It determines the way you think, feel, understand and experience life.
I'm curious actually, your perception on water fasting or fasting and taking prolonged periods of time.
She went to food directly. Okay, fasting, not food, good.
It's the opposite of food. It's time away from food and the benefits, if you believe there are any benefits from allowing ourselves to take a reset and to renegotiate our relationship with food.
See, this happened in Los Angeles. A cardiac surgeon drove his… he was little fascinated with his Ford Mustang. It was his car and he was little excited about it and one day it started coughing a little bit. So he took it to the local mechanic and said, some problem, please fix it. He said, yeah, doc, come tomorrow morning, it'll be ready. The doctor, before going to work tomorrow morning, he went there, but it was not ready. So he said, okay, come in the evening, it'll be ready. He came in the evening, it was not ready. He said, what's the matter? You said morning, I came. You said evening, I came, what is the issue? And the mechanic was in that kind of mood, he said, see, you're a heart surgeon, you also fix engines, I also fix engines, how come you're paid 10 times more than me? So the doctor looked at him and said, try to fix the engine when it's running, let me see. So human life and human body needs to be fixed when it's running, otherwise it's meaningless. All right, you're going to postmortem what's the point of that? We need to fix this body when it's running. If you want to fix this body when it's running, you must understand, because we're talking about something related to digestive process, these are the stages of this: ingestion, putting something inside; digestion, assimilation, excretion. These are four dimensions of food and the whole process. Ingestion, digestion, assimilation, excretion. Ingestion is happening in today's world just about any time, wherever they are, sitting, standing, any time of the day or night, people just eat because there's so much food. It was not like this ever in the history of humanity. But unfortunately, fortunately there is a lot of food. Unfortunately, people don't know when to eat, when not to eat. As there are cycles in time, see, we know time only by cycles. If the planet spins one like this, one spin, we say it's a day. Otherwise you wouldn't know. If the moon goes around, we say one. If we go around the sun, then we say 1 year. So our idea of time is essentially cycles. Our birth and death is also a question of cycles. Only because our mothers' bodies were in sync with the cycles of the moon, we are even born, otherwise we wouldn't be born. So our whole physical existence is cyclical. The entire spiritual process, we could go into that if you wish, essentially is significant because it's not cyclical. Because cyclical means you're going in circles. If I say you're going in circles, what does it imply?
You're in a loop.
You're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Usually if I leave you in desert where here there are some mountains, if there are no features, it's just sand, then people end up going in circles. That means you're not getting anywhere, that means you're lost. So the moment you are completely identified with your body and your psychological structure, you will start going in cycles. So in India, in the yogic culture, it's very, very clear, this is called as samsara, that means cyclical life. So cyclical life, as good a merry-go-round it may be, if you arrange it well, it's a good merry-go-round, but you're not getting anywhere. Children can enjoy a merry-go-round. If all the adults are sitting in the merry-go-round and going round and round thinking they're traveling, very Tragic, isn't it? So that's what happens. So the body is a cycle. These cycles are very connected with the planetary cycles, with the moon cycle, with the sun cycle, everything. Lunar cycle, solar cycles and the earth cycles are very important for the body. If one has the necessary awareness, they could observe on which day your body doesn't need food. Every other creature knows this. Unfortunately, human beings have forgotten because their thought process or their silly mind has superimposed every other sense they have in their system. If you observe your system, you will see on a particular day, you don't feel like eating. That day you should not eat. But no, you're at your friend's house, there is a party, you stuff yourself, even if your body says no, you stuff yourself. You see all the animals, even if you have a dog at home, on a certain day he refuses to eat, both dogs and cats. Have you noticed this? He will go and eat some blades of grass if it's available and puke and cleanses himself because he's conscious that ingestion is continuously happening, but digestion and excretion is not as efficient as ingestion. Ingestion is happening compulsively, but other parts need to work. Other dimensions of digestive process needs to work. When we say digestion, digestion happens in the whole alimentary canal, not just in the stomach. And assimilation also happens across the entire alimentary canal. Now, excretion doesn't happen only through the alimentary canal, excretion needs to happen on the cellular level also. Impurities gather over a period of time and you become dense both in body and head. If you don't cleanse yourself, then it'll pile up over a period of time. We call this karma, because when it piles up, it determines the way you think, feel, understand and experience life. People may not realize this, but they will think, this is how I am, this is my nature. This is not your nature, this is the way you messed yourself, all right? So this cleansing process, one important thing is to give a break for ingestion. Because other systems are largely involuntary, you can stimulate them, but they're involuntary, they're functioning. Ingestion is a voluntary process, though unfortunately for most people it's become compulsive. It should be a voluntary process, that is, I eat when I want to eat. When I decide I want to eat, I will eat. My hand doesn't decide when to eat. If there's anything, people are doing this all the time.
I relate.
I think if we leave a bunch of good chocolates around you, your hand will eat, not you. So ingestion should be a conscious process. To bring this consciousness, there are many methods. One is fasting. Simply denying yourself food and water could cause damage to the system. You must support it with the necessary practices. If you have the necessary practices, the need for food will come down. See, our energies are not coming only from the food that we eat. The sunlight, the air, the water, actually, if you… in the yogic sciences, we say, if you really keep your system well, 60 to 70% of your energy should come from these three factors: sunlight, air, water. Another 40% should come from the food that you eat. So naturally, amount of volume of food that you eat will compress. I must tell you about myself. When I was young, I'm a big eater. I never became big because my activity was immense. But today what I eat is actually 1/10 or less than 1/10 of what I used to eat at that time. From the age of 19 till now, I'm still the same weight, what I was at 19. Only thing is, at that time, all the weight was on my shoulders. Now, because of this gravity continuously working on me, kind of pulled it down a little bit, but I kept myself up. So fasting as a process must be done with necessary understanding. If people don't have that awareness, in India we fixed the 11th day of the moon cycle, you must fast. If you're not able to fast, you go on something very light, it's called palhar. That means you go on fruit diet. Because fruit is a substance which is over 90% water, and you must eat water, not drink water. This is the yogic As far as possible, you eat water. You always be conscious about the food that you're eating, what is the water content. Like a South Indian meal, if you eat, a cooked meal I'm talking about, if you eat, very easily 60–70% water. In fact, more. In some of the foods, it's much more. But now the food that you're eating here, you're eating bread, which was baked a month ago probably. Is that minimum? Even in so-called organic shops, it's at least a month or at least a week. Nobody is going and getting fresh bread and come, and anyway, the way the bread is baked, it doesn't have water in it, very little water. So of course you're compensating that with a bucket of Coca-Cola or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
I said a bucket,
A
not
bucket
a
is a good amount of Coca-Cola.
Where is this big? But that doesn't work like that. If you drink any liquid along with your food, the acids that are necessary for digestive process will get diluted. Your whole digestive process gets inefficient. Because food when it goes in, if it contains water, it assists. But if you put any liquid on top of it, you will see the food will remain in the stomach bag for too long. We are very concerned about this always in the yogic culture and life, that we don't want food to remain in our stomach bag for more than 2.5 hours maximum. In 2.5 hours' time, it doesn't matter what I've eaten, how much I've eaten, it must go into other parts. If it remains there, it makes you dull. It makes you lose your sense of perception. The level of perception, the keenness of perception is lost, which you notice if you eat food without Coke or coffee or tea or anything, you feel dull. It kind of pulls you down. Whole lot of people have developed a culture around it, after lunch they have to sleep. It's like you went to the gas station, you fueled up, then you can't start the engine because there is gas in the tank. So that's what it means. So, to ensure that digestive system is in full process, because for most of the chronic ailments that people are suffering today in the world, the headquarters is in the stomach. Yes. But a lot of people, it's shifting to their head, but largely headquarters is in the stomach, the way… what they eat and the way they eat. So in this way they eat, one simple thing to bring discipline is, maybe 1 or 2 days in a month, you go on much lighter foods which are very simple and easy on the body. If you can just thrive on water or just a little bit of lemon and water or lightly honey-laced water, it will help, but if it's not possible for you, maybe a fruit or something, which is very light on the system. The idea is to give digestive process and assimilation process a break so that rest of the body begins to excrete on the cellular level, it must throw out all the impurities.
Sadhguru, what is so wrong about praying for one's mother's health that a guru would never see his disciple again?
Ramakrishna saying what he said, for Vivekananda he has set different standards. If Vivekananda had prayed for what he thought he wanted, so Ramakrishna is setting up a trajectory for a projectile that he's shooting.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. You have told us a beautiful story of Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Paramhansa. Swami Vivekananda's mother was seriously ill, and Ramakrishna told him that had Vivekananda prayed to Kali for his mother's health, Ramakrishna would never see him again. Sadhguru, what is so wrong about praying for one's mother's health that a guru would never see his disciple again?
Now you're exposing how horrible the gurus are. See, there are many aspects to our life. Of these many aspects, a guru means… I know that word guru is being used loosely today, management guru, marketing guru and whatever. We are not using the word in that context. When we say a guru, we are talking about someone who is committed to the ultimate nature of who you are. Well, Ramakrishna saying what he said, he wouldn't have said it to all the other hundreds of devotees who are hanging around. He says this only to Vivekananda, you must understand. Because he wouldn't talk about taking your emotions for your mother or your help or seeking divine help for your mother's help. For other people, he would have said, okay, go and pray. But for Vivekananda, he has set different standards. Because he is expecting this man to do something much more than what others will do. If he has to do those things, he should not be an asking fool. That he is not somebody who stands in front of the Devi and asks, I want this, I want that. So, for your mother's health, what he that moment needed was money. So he wants to go and ask for money. If money doesn't work, what's the next thing? You ask for a miracle. If miracle doesn't work, what is the next thing? You will ask him to raise the dead. Well, Ramakrishna knows the progression of human mind. Initially, you will say, my mother should be healthy, but she fell ill. Then you will say, I should have the money to get her treated. It didn't work. Then you want a miracle. Simply like that, she became well. Didn't work, she died. Then you want to raise the dead. So Ramakrishna, in one moment, he's seeing through this nature. And above all, he is looking at… he's preparing Vivekananda to be his instrument. And he wants a fine instrument, not a crusty one. So, preparing his instrument, is it more important than Vivekananda's mother? This is not one against the other. But see, today even you here in United States know who was Ramakrishna's guru. Do you know his father's name? Do you know his mother's name? Do you know his uncle? His brother? You know only his guru's name. Because for Vivekananda, Ramakrishna has become his dharma. He breathes him. But now, social pressure, he is falling back. Should the guru allow him to fall him back or push him forward? This is the question you ask him. Well, if I was Vivekananda, I want to be pushed forward, not fall back upon my emotions. And anyway, if money could save her life, I'm sure Ramakrishna would have provided some. But you're seeking divine help? No, this is something all of you must understand. This has happened a few times around me also, that you initiate somebody into a powerful process, next thing is they want to help their mother or their uncle or their close cousin, literally. They want to make him pass examination because the fool has not studied properly. Or they want him to get a lottery. Or they want him to get miraculously sit up in the bed where he is dying. The moment they do that, they will shatter everything within themselves. If I'm saying, this is a conjecture. If Vivekananda had prayed for what he thought he wanted, well, he would have become a psychological wreck. Absolutely. So it's Guru's business to see that that doesn't happen. But 21st century, very hard to make them listen. Vivekananda, 20th century, 19th. 19th century only there was so much trouble. You can imagine my trouble. We'll go sit in front of Devi and ask all kinds of things. Because they were doing it with Dhyanalinga, I put her up and say, okay, so you have another counter to ask all these things. Because wherever there is a phenomenal sense of energy which is propelling you forward, at a certain space, then when you're moving at that speed, if you… because you're concerned about the tree, you held the tree, your arm will go. You will lose something, it will shatter you, it will break you. So Ramakrishna is wanting him to be a rocket, and the rocket wants to do this. No, rocket trajectory is already set. You don't try to do this and that. That will be a disastrous rocket. So in that context, he is saying that if you had done this, it was finished between you and me because you were anyway a broken failure rocket, a failed rocket. Does anybody go and pick it up? You may be thinking it'll go to the moon and you fired it, but it went into the ocean. Does anybody go looking for it? No, it's finished, it's over, it's burnt up. So, in that context, Ramakrishna is saying, today, if you had done that, it was over because it would be not worth seeing you because you would be broken and you're gone. What do I do with a broken instrument? Today you have heard of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa because of Vivekananda. If that instrument was broken on that day, well, Ramakrishna's offering to the world would have gone completely away. Well, I'm glad you didn't pick up Krishna, because Krishna said, when Arjuna said, I don't want to kill all these people, 100,000 men they're talking about. Krishna said, you must kill them, then you will realize. There's even a worse example, but that's the way it is. Because when you seek ultimate nature, when you seek the source of your existence, small things, arrangements in your existence doesn't mean anything. If it means something, you do something to somebody, not because it means something to me. Let me tell you this, today is Guru Purnima, I'll tell you, don't tell anybody. Whatever I'm doing, serving food to people who are starving, free education that's going on to thousands of children, the health support, the health initiatives that are going on for people who are deprived of that, and planting trees, Kaveri, all this I'm doing because it means a lot to them, not because it means anything to me. If I close my eyes, I'm done with the world, with everybody. I'm talking not just about you or somebody, everybody. Everybody, that means everybody. If I close my eyes, they're all gone, they're dead. But I do these things because it means so much to them. Without fulfilling those things, they will never even aspire for anything bigger. Right now somebody is hungry, are you going to talk to him about enlightenment? That'll be cruel. So we feed him, not because I get some great satisfaction in feeding him, no. I've always been saying, I have no satisfaction in anything that I do, including spiritual work. Whenever people ask me, Sadhguru, you must be having so much fulfillment, seeing all these people joyful, blissful, what is my problem? They're joyful, blissful, miserable, what's my problem? I have no problem. Because they have a problem, I reach out. Because I didn't see them anything other than as myself, I reached out, that's all. But if I shut my eyes, I'm done. I'm done with the world, I'm done with everybody and everything. Oh, so much work has happened, people are saying, how will you… who will carry your legacy, Sadhguru? Who will you appoint next? Nobody. They're interested, they'll carry it on. If they don't think it's valuable, they'll drop it, it's up to them. I leave it to them. If they have not seen the value, if people have not seen the value of what's being done, let them drop it and convert this into a hospital or a school or something. Because that is how most spiritual organizations end up. I don't believe Isha Yoga Center will end up that way because many people have seen the value of it. Even though I constantly nag them, trouble them, create impediments to their work, make their work more and more difficult, this is not for any sadistic satisfaction, just to see how much it means to them. They have proven that it means a lot to them. Life or death, they will do that. Whether I am there or not, they will do that. So, maybe not everybody, but a whole lot of them will do that. So it will continue because of that, because it means a lot to them. Not necessarily because it means a lot to them, because it'll add to their life. All this work doesn't add a thing to my life. But it means so much to every other life. You do it. If you choose not to do, many yogis, fantastic yogis, they do nothing. They just withdraw. Nothing wrong with them being like. So, Ramakrishna is setting up a trajectory for a projectile that he's shooting. Now this projectile is having a mind of its own, emotions of its own. Now this is dangerous. If you are shooting a rocket to the moon or Mars, if it thinks of Hawaii, Hawaii will be destroyed, for sure. So, this is a different dimension, it should never be judged by your understanding, by your emotions, by your values. This is why I say, when you come in touch with the Guru, you can either… if you're using him as an inspiration, this will keep happening because somebody will keep dragging you this way, that way. See, many young boys in the yoga center, they all came determined, but then, the girls were pretty. They got married, nothing wrong. But I'm saying, like this, if you keep going and whatever small needs are taken care of, no problem. But if you change trajectory because small thoughts and emotions change, best we don't empower you. So as I said, I'm not yet in the sunset stage, I will become far more colorful as I go, watch it. But right now, heading that way, it's 4 o'clock in the evening right now, in terms of the day for me. So it is summertime, summer is here, sun is setting at almost 8:45, 9 o'clock in the night, so there's still hours left. But when it's 4 o'clock in the evening, the intensity of the sun is not like noontime. It's becoming prettier, actually, it's becoming nicer. But at the same time, it becomes selective. See, when the sun is up at 12 o'clock, it shines on everybody. Everybody, because it's up there. 4 o'clock, unless you stick your neck out, it won't shine on you. That's where it's going right now. So, you must decide whether I am an inspiration for you or I am a friend, philosopher, guide for you, Or I am a doorway for you that you got stuck in, or I am a destination for you, or I have become your dharma. Time to decide, because this is not noon time where sun shines on everybody. You need to stick out for it to shine on you.
What you just watched wasn't just a video, it was a presence exercise. If you stayed until now, it shows something in you is more awake. Comment on what stayed with you, what message hit you hardest, and share this with someone who also values this kind of conversation. Thanks, a big hug, and see you in the next video.